The following program is sponsored by Boys Town.
I raised my hand towards her and she says, "Go ahead and hit me." She says, "I'll call the cops."
I felt real sick inside.
Hey kid, my mom and my dad had broke up. He got mad and slit her throat and bashed her head.
I didn't think anybody loved me. I hated myself. Didn't think there was anything to live for.
I never got a chance to call him dad. I never had the opportunity to call a man dad.
He's my brother.
Hey kids, better hurry up. You're going to be late for school.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Father Peter, and this is Boys Town, a place where kids are never thrown away. Instead, they're given a safe place to live and the love and affection they so richly deserve. Remember the Boys Town movie?
Joe wants you to come with me to Boys Town.
You've got a swell chance taking me to that joint.
Well, we're still here because kids still need us. Of course, a lot has changed since a priest named Father Flanagan started Boys Town all those years ago. First of all, we have girls as well as boys. And they come here with stories that will break your heart. We have children coming to Boys Town who have been raped, abused, beaten, sold into prostitution by their own parents. Little children growing up in a world of moral decay and terrible violence. I think the best way to understand what is happening in neighborhoods all across our beloved country is to let these kids tell their own stories in their own words. So let's join Danny Glover now as we meet some of America's throwaway children.
You know, every child needs love more than anything else. Unconditional love from mom and dad. When that love is withdrawn and the child is rejected, their trust betrayed, the results are absolutely devastating. Listen to Valerie.
I was 10 years old, and my mom had just taken us from my dad, and it was after a vacation, and so I thought we were going on another vacation. She just, told us to pack everything in the car, and my dad didn't even know that we left.
And I just had this sense, this feeling that something was wrong, so I took off from work and came back home. All the drawers open, all the kids' clothes gone. She stole the kids, stopped by the bank, emptied the savings accounts.
She took us to Arizona. We had lived down there for like 2 weeks in a tent and in a car. We didn't get fed a whole lot, and we didn't get our showers. And I felt kind of scared also because I didn't know when I'd see my dad the next time. I didn't know how much longer I'd have to live in this car.
The kids were put in the station wagon at night, and my ex-wife and her half-brother slept in the tent.
I unzipped the tent, and I had walked in on my mom having sex. I didn't know a whole lot about what was going on, but I kind of did. She had told me, if you tell anybody about what you saw, Valerie, I will kill you. I was 10 years old, and I believed her. That tears someone up inside, just to hear that from your mother. I'll kill you. And I felt real sick inside. And it hurt. And I haven't seen her since.
Can you imagine turning your back on a child like that? And just walking out of their life? That's a blow at the very heart of a child. Even if a mother should forget the fruit of her womb, I will not forget you, the Lord says. We have to be the ones who substitute for that mom.
The hardest part for me for not having a mom around would be someone to talk to. Someone to be there during the hard times. I was terribly angry. Everything just fell apart. I started with the drugs and the alcohol, and I mean, my grades had dropped from ABs to D and Fs.
I looked at Valerie and I really was concerned. I felt that she would not finish high school. I felt that she would become pregnant. She certainly was very, very resistant to anyone in authority.
She came home one night, started ripping the house up, throwing things around, pushing me around. I raised my hand towards her and she says, "Go ahead and hit me." She says, "I'll call the cops." And she went for the phone. I said, "No, I'm calling the cops." I knew that if we didn't get help, that she was going to run away.
Valerie's suffering is very deep. I was working very hard to get Valerie into Boys Town.
When I arrived at Boys Town, I didn't want to be here at all. I just had a real poor attitude.
If you could see how angry and fearful the kids are when they come.
I didn't let really anybody know who I was. I just really kept quiet. I wanted to play the tough guy so that no one could hurt me any more than I had already been hurt. The way I felt inside was sick and frustrated and scared. Deep down inside, I didn't like who I was, and I knew it was time to change.
Singing exaltation.
One of the main keys to Boys Town is we're just going to keep loving you and loving you and loving you. And for Valerie, it means confronting the pain and suffering caused when she was abandoned by her mother.
I haven't talked to my mom since I was 10, so it's about 7 years now. We're not really sure where she is. If my mom was here now, I think I'd tell her that I forgive her for all the stuff that she's caused us. I mean, all the pain and stuff that she put us through. I mean, because I know that there's somewhere in her heart that she loves us. So I'd just like to tell her that I forgive her.
I think it's absolutely remarkable that after all that Valerie's been through, she would say, "I'm ready to forgive."
Boys Town's taught me to deal with my anger and the problems that I've had since my parents divorced.
I just can't wait to go to college.
I'm excited. I talked to my dad today. I've come a long way. I've made a lot of progress. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye. I know my heart's gonna be trembling. Once I leave, you know, it's all up to me. It's kind of scary. I can always call back to Boys Town and ask for advice, but I'm actually gonna be out on my own, and now my life really begins.
You know, to understand what went wrong with Valerie the teenager, we had to get to know Valerie the little girl. Remember, this is the child whose mother betrayed her and then abandoned her. Well, right now, I want you to think about all the Valeries who will be arriving here at Boys Town once she leaves. And all the Valeries in all those neighborhoods across America who need the love and guidance of Boys Town. And one more thing. I want you to go to your phone. Pick it up. Call right now.
Hello, I'm Kim at the Boys Town Phone Center.
And when you call the toll-free number on your screen, you'll get a unique opportunity to make a difference, a real difference in the life of a child like Valerie. You do that by becoming a Boys Town family sponsor with a gift of only $20 a month. You'll be helping an entire Boys Town family with as many as 8 kids. In each home, there's a husband and wife team. We call them family teachers. For many kids, these are the loving parents they never had. When you become a family sponsor, we'll send you a photo along with a personal letter telling you more about the youngsters your sponsorship is helping. Throughout the year, you'll get updates, so you'll know exactly how young lives are being touched by your generosity. All it takes is a pledge of $20 a month. Boys Town is already caring for 30,000 kids in 16 centers across America. That's great, but it's not nearly enough. We must expand existing centers and open new ones. Right now, there are thousands of kids like Valerie who need to be at Boys Town. They're losing their families, their futures, sometimes their very lives. We know where these kids are. We know how to help them. What we need is you. By the way, I want to let you know that Boys Town isn't funded or run by any particular religious group or foundation, and our books are always open to the public. Boys Town is the work of the American people. Your generosity and care help provide the loving homes these kids need.
Thank you for calling Boys Town.
If you feel you can't send $20 a month, call and make a one-time donation of $25, $50, $100, or whatever you can give. Every dollar will help. Using your credit card is a great way to give. It makes it easy for you and very cost-efficient for Boys Town. The important thing is that you go to your phone. Please, we're waiting for your call.
I just like the idea that kids were someplace safe, to be with people who cared about them. I'd always known about Boys Town, but when I found out it was Boys and Girls Town, that really pushed me to do it. I like the idea of sponsoring here in this country and also sponsoring with something that I know that has been working for decades.
When you call and become a Boys Town family sponsor, thanks, Natalie, guess what? You get to help a family just like this one. Each one of our children receives the love, structure, and discipline they must have. It means giving them chores and responsibilities, something to be proud of, something to help them grow and mature. This is an exciting opportunity for you to make a difference in the world. Make that call now.
Family teachers are the ones that set the example for the kids.
And it all starts with the donors and people helping bring money into Boys Town.
We're not alone. There's thousands of other people out there that care about what happens to kids.
And we'll do everything that we can to be worthy of the money that you're sending in.
When you become a Boys Town family sponsor, if you'd like, we'll send you a free copy of Common Sense Parenting from the experts here at Boys Town. To be a good parent today, you need a warm heart and a cool head. Common Sense Parenting helps you with both. Yours free when you become a Boys Town family sponsor with your pledge of $20 a month. Thanks for your call.
It wasn't too long ago that I had the privilege of speaking at Boys Town. I related a comment I heard from a young soldier during the Gulf War. He said, "I'm not afraid because I'm well trained and I know my job. And I'm going into battle with my family." If you grow up in a family that loves and supports you, you can face almost anything. If you don't, you could be headed for trouble. Boys Town takes in kids in trouble and turns them around. They become a model for the nation and an American success story. I am proud to be an enthusiastic supporter of Boys Town, and I encourage you to join me.
She ain't heaven, she's my sister.
Imagine, for instance, you're a child who witnesses your father attacking your mother. You watch in horror as he nearly kills her. That's what happened to Robert when he was just a small boy.
My mom and my dad had broke up. He had just found out that she had got pregnant. And when she told him that it wasn't his, he got mad and slit her throat and bashed her head in.
Robert's mother was in extreme critical condition. She was hurt very, very badly. She has physical scars, and she has severe emotional and mental scars. And because of that, Robert often was left to bring himself up on the streets, in the projects environment, no money, no food.
And really didn't have any time to be a kid. I was too busy trying to put food on the table for my brothers. There was times when there was nothing in the house and we would have had nothing to eat, but there was a school right behind our project. I would break into it. I'd go through their refrigerator, freezers, and things. I mean, I didn't touch any of their computers or anything that you would think a real thief or somebody would really do. I just went through the refrigerator. I took like frozen pizzas and things like that and brought it home. And I always heard that if you're the oldest, that you should always take care of your family. I got deep into a lot of things that kids shouldn't get into. I got into drugs real early. I got into gangs. I got into the gang because it felt like a family. The leader, he treated me good. He gave me money. He gave us clothes. He watched over us all. I ended up in jail for grand theft auto and evading police and having an illegal firearm. I was 15.
Boys Town has an answer for teenage violence. The answer centers directly around what you see with Robert. If you're a little child and you don't have the love and you don't have the affection, you don't have the protection, first, you're a victim. And if we don't do anything to give you that love and protection, you will become a victimizer. Life didn't fail Robert at the middle or at the end. It failed him right at the very beginning.
I think when the first time I came here, the hardest thing for me to grasp was how to carry on a conversation. Sacrifice one piece.
The first few months, Robert needed someone who was not going to tolerate his defiant behavior.
Any little thing that I could do to get in trouble, I pretty much tried to do.
There were so many times that John and I would sit down at night and almost cry because we think, are we going to lose him?
The more that they kept trying to help me, the more I tried to push them away from me because I wasn't used to it.
It was all in the way that we approached Robert. We respected him as a person.
It wasn't so much what he said, but it was something that was in his eyes. You could just tell that this was somebody who was just looking for someone to help him straighten out his life.
The closer Robert got to his Boys Town family, the more he knew he needed to cut the bonds with his gang family forever.
I got tired of a lot of my friends getting hurt and beat up and everything. And
he began by having his tattoos removed, one by one, stripping himself of his gang identity.
It's about respect. That's R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Then, one weekend, Robert went home to see his mother. While he was there, he was confronted by members of his gang.
Hey, Robert, where you been, man? Yeah, homie, what's up?
Unfortunately, this is something that happens all too often when kids want out of a gang.
I thought I was gonna die. You actually wish somebody would take a bullet to you because they come in with, it's everybody beats you. I didn't dare want to try to run because I knew that I don't have to go through it again. It lasts until they see that you can't move anymore. When I woke up, it was like a part of me was gone. My whole gang life was over. All of the respect that I had lost with the gangs was being replaced by like respect for stuff that I truly earned. I was having people respect me because of the work that I was doing in my grades, my athletics.
Let's go, leaders, let's go.
3, almost 4 years of my life has been at Boys Town. Before I came here, I never thought that I'd have any kind of future.
Good job.
Sometimes people, they read the paper, they watch TV, and they say, wow, the problem's so big. If I can help one person, just one of these boys or one of these girls, I've made a huge difference.
It's literally changed my life. And now every little problem that's in my way is like a hurdle. And you just gotta work a little bit harder to get over it.
The road is long.
A lot of my friends are still in the same place doing the same thing. And they're still trying to survive. Kids can't help where they come from. They're born in situations that they had no real control over. I am proof that Boys Town changed kids, and it's important to a lot of people because it gives them hope.
Robert walked away from his life in the gangs into a whole new world here at Boys Town, where he has a family to love him, a beautiful neighborhood like this to live in. What a contrast from the life he had on those cool, dangerous streets. We need you to become a Boys Town family sponsor so the little kids all across our country can have this same opportunity. We can't just throw these children away. We need to put a stop to their cycle of suffering. That's why you need to call right now.
They're called throwaway kids, these children who were abused, rejected, or neglected. If we don't help them in time, they could be America's next generation of criminals and abusers. And these are the kinds of kids who come to Boys Town. But the good news is, if they want to change, they can. A recent study of Boys Town graduates shows an 81% success rate. That means a boy or girl must graduate from the program and high school, stay out of trouble with the law, and remain employed and off welfare. It all starts with you and me, reaching out with compassion to a boy or girl. Go to your phone right now and become a Boys Town family sponsor with a pledge of $20 a month. You'll know you're doing something that really matters, giving the kids a second chance at life. All it takes is $20 a month and a little opening in your heart. Please call now.
Thank you for calling Boys Town.
When you call and become a family sponsor, you'll bring hope and love to boys and girls who have nowhere else to turn. You'll help support a Boys Town home headed by a husband and wife team called Family Teachers. In each home, there are up to 8 kids who receive the care and guidance they desperately need. As a sponsor, you'll receive a photo of your family teachers, along with a personal letter telling you more about the kids you are helping. After that, you'll get regular updates so you'll know exactly how your sponsorship is changing lives. Your commitment of $20 a month will help us open new centers, expand existing programs, and help more kids. We're already serving over 30,000 kids in 16 centers around the country, but there are so many other kids at risk. We need thousands of people like you to stand with us month after month. Every dollar will help rescue America's throwaway children. When you use your credit card, it saves us money on mailing costs. Boys Town watches every penny. Please go to your phone. If you can't call right now, write down the number and call later on. We'll be here waiting for you. Let's keep these phones ringing.
My husband was watching television and he heard, I guess it was Colin Powell talking about Boys Town, and it just seemed like it was extremely reputable. You know, in fact, they've been around a long time. They've had a really good success rate, and it just seemed like something that he felt that we should do.
I love young people. I love children. And I see so much suffering with the children. Anything I can do. I'm on a fixed income. I mean, I make less than $600 a month. but I try to help.
The most important thing we do is you give them that nurturing, because these kids need nurturing and love and support.
And nobody does it better than Boys Town.
It's an awesome responsibility, but it's a responsibility that we don't take lightly.
We know people care out there, really care for our kids.
To know they could be somewhere out on the streets and they're not means that I've made a difference in their life.
When you become a Boys Town family sponsor, if you'd like, we'll send you a free copy of Common Sense Parenting from the experts here at Boys Town. To be a good parent today, you need a warm heart and a cool head. Common Sense Parenting helps you with both. Yours free when you become a Boys Town family sponsor with your pledge of $20 a month. Thanks for your call.
Thank God for institutions like Boys Town, where they don't give up. And a lot of these kids have, you know, like a pinball machine, just kind of bounced around and fallen through the cracks. Boys Town is there, it picks them up, it catches them, and takes care of them. And I think it's really quite tremendous what Boys Town has done. I've been there, and I've been impressed with it.
These are the first 5 children who came to Boys Town when it was founded over 80 years ago. In fact, this hall of history is filled with examples of kids we've helped in the past. When you become a Boys Town family sponsor, you help guarantee that we will be here, not just for kids today, but for generations to come. For instance, let me read you a letter I received recently. Dear Father Peter, I never knew my father because he abandoned me. My stepfather abused me mentally and physically. He used to strangle me, beat me with a belt. He threw me down the stairs. He burnt my arms with cigarette butts. My mom couldn't help because she was scared of him. I don't do good in school, and I'm in all kinds of trouble. Will you help me? We can't turn our backs on kids like this. They're in desperate need of our help. Please call.
He's my brother.
What happens to a child whose mother and father are never there for him, who never show him any love? Add violence, horrible violence, to this picture, and you wonder how on earth the child can survive. Meet Jose.
My dad was wanted by the police because this man had beaten my older brother. The guy pushed my dad pushed him back, and my dad had a knife, turned him around and cut his throat, and kept stabbing him in the ground. The guy died. My dad didn't get arrested or anything. He left, took off. I mean, he didn't even say anything to us. He just got up and left. My mom abandoned us. I was 8. I had a younger brother, 7, and an older brother, 9. She just left, I guess. She didn't show no concern for us. You see all your other friends, and you go visit them at their house. You see their parents hugging them, kissing them. It's something that I've never gotten. It made me feel lonely, sad, angry. And my dad never lived with me. I never got a chance to call him dad. I've never had the opportunity to call a man dad.
You know, I've talked to thousands of teenagers around the country, and over again, I hear the statement, I never had a dad. You know, 70 to 80% of the people in prison grew up without fathers. It's no surprise that Jose found himself in trouble with the police.
I was in my police car. I was driving down Dixie Highway in October of '91 when I received a call over my radio of a young man who stole something. When I arrived, I met with a young boy. He was about 10, maybe 10 years old. The place that he lived in was terrible. It had trash everywhere. It's one of the worst places I've ever seen. I placed the young man in my police car. I noticed he was wearing a chain, kind of like what gangs wear. And I asked him if he's so much into jewelry, maybe he'd like to wear these. And I took my cuffs off and threw them into his lap. I said, keep it up, son. This is what you're going to be wearing for the rest of your life. He sat there in my police car and just looked at the cuffs, and you can just tell he was scared. He was arrested by several police departments from Miami up to Juno Beach, from stolen vehicles, gang-related incidences, fights all the time, stealing from merchants in the area, drugs.
Incarcerating someone oftentimes does not teach them how to live in society. It makes them usually better criminals. And so we need not to throw them away, to lock them up, but to see if we can't find some goodness.
Officer Menaki kept track of Jose. He called Boys Town.
You could tell when Jose came to Boys Town he was very, very troubled. Initially, Jose resisted all of the things that we were trying to do to help him. Jose broke the rules. Jose pushed the limits. He didn't want to accept feedback. He didn't do well in school. Jose was acting out at such a high rate, and it didn't appear that he wanted to get better. We had made the decision for him to lose his placement, Boys Town. Deep down inside, Jose loved Boys Town. And at that point in time, Jose looked at us with tears flowing down his face, and he said, I've got to tell you something that's been troubling me for a long, long time. You can do whatever you want with me, but I need to tell you this. I owe this to you. And he told us how he was abused as a young child. And he shared that with us because he wanted the help so desperately. We said, Jose's asking for our help. We can't let him go now.
If you've ever seen a child talk for the first time about their abuse, it's scary. And you can almost see them revert back to that day when they were beaten. What happens to the heart and soul of a little child that is abused? You take away their childhood. You substitute for their childhood pain. You take away their hopes. You substitute despair.
8 out of 10 kids who come to Boys Town have been abused in some way. Many of them have buried the secret so deep they can't get to it. It's too painful. But once Jose opened up, his life began to change.
I think I've hidden so much of my life. I've never told nobody I've been so close. I just felt good, you know, being able to trust them.
Here you go, get the ball. Good eye.
What I've learned here is that taking responsibility is a major part of manhood. You know, you can't blame other people for what you do. You know, your actions are your actions. I've overcome a lot of obstacles. I've come a long way. I remember when I had the handcuffs in my lap, a long time ago. I think God just picked me up and threw me here sometimes. Boys Town has given me a second chance in life. They cleaned me up and made me a whole new person. I want to say to Boys Town, thanks for not throwing me away.
God has a very special place in his heart for children. With him, they never have to worry about being thrown away, no matter what. Jose said he felt like God just picked him up and placed him here at Boys Town. Well, I agree. I pray every day. I thank God that we're here to help Jose and these other kids. And I thank God for all the people who have supported us all these years. But you know, I have another prayer. That the work that was begun here will grow and expand across the nation. We know where these children are. We know how to reach them. We know how to help them. They're out there waiting. All they need is you. Please call and become a Boys Town family sponsor.
If you've already called with your commitment of $20 a month, thank you. If you haven't called, now is the time. Do it for all the kids like Jose who have never known anything but rejection and violence. Help Father Peter's prayer be answered. Reach out to a young boy who has been abused and abandoned. Rescue a little girl who is on the streets alone and in danger. Provide a safe, secure home for children who are sleeping in alleys and on sidewalks because they have no place else to go and because no one in their life cares. Are you someone who cares? Do you want to make a difference in the world? You can if you call now and become a Boys Town family sponsor. Your pledge of $20 a month will help support an entire Boys Town family of up to 8 kids. These children live in a home headed by a married couple called family teachers. Family teachers are the parents these children never had. They provide the love and guidance that children long for, that children must have. When you become a Boys Town family sponsor, you'll help us take in more kids, open more centers, and expand existing programs. We are already serving over 30,000 kids in 16 centers around the country, but the need is so great, and so many other children are at risk. Boys Town needs thousands of caring sponsors who will stand with us month after month, giving kids time to heal, to change bad habits, to learn how to trust and love again after years of rejection and abuse. As a family sponsor, you'll receive regular information about the kids you are helping and the progress they are making. If you can't make a monthly commitment, please call anyway. Your one-time gift of $25, $50, $100, or any amount will help change lives. And by the way, using your credit card will save Boys Town money. Please, whatever you can do, do it now. We're waiting for your call.
Well, I'm a teacher, so when I saw the young people being cared for in a family-like situation, I thought, this is it, this is great. I was in tears. It just really touched me, and I wish I had more money to give.
They can take a little money and make a lot out of it.
Seeing those kids get well and become productive members of society after what they've been through, it's, you know, it's miraculous. That's all you can say about it.
I think it's very gratifying to know that you're involved in an organization that is doing something really good for less fortunate people.
When you become a Boys Town family sponsor, this is one of the things your money helps accomplish. We here at Boys Town prepare our kids for adulthood by giving them the very best education possible. This computer class is a good example of how you can make a difference in the life of one child. Please go to your phone right now. These kids really do need your help.
Family sponsors are important to us because without them, you know, the war that we fight on a daily basis would be a lot tougher.
I would say on behalf of all family teachers at Boys Town, we're very grateful.
God bless you and thank you. And you know, you're doing a great service by helping these kids.
When you become a Boys Town family sponsor, if you'd like, we'll send you a free copy of Common Sense Parenting from the experts here at Boys Town. To be a good parent today, you need a warm heart and a cool head. Common Sense Parenting helps you with both. Yours free when you become a Boys Town family sponsor with your pledge of $20 a month. Thanks for your call.
If you grow up in a family that loves and supports you, you can face almost anything. If you don't, you could be headed for trouble. Boys Town takes in kids in trouble and turns them around. They become a model for the nation and an American success story. I am proud to be an enthusiastic supporter of Boys Town, and I encourage you to join me.
He in heaven is my brother.
Can you imagine being 16 years old and feeling your life is finished, having no reason to dream? 1 in 5 of the kids who come to Boys Town have attempted suicide. It's a miracle that a girl like Nina is still alive.
I wanted to die. I tried killing myself like about
2 to 3 times. What brought me to the point of thinking that I wanted to end my life was when I got raped. So many things had happened to me that year. My dad had died. My relationship with my mom went down. I didn't think anybody loved me. I thought that I was just the most horrible person in the world. I thought I was disgusting. I hated myself. Didn't think there was anything to live for. Without Boys Town in my life, I probably would be dead. I probably would be dead. I know I would.
Sentía que se me iba de las manos y sentía que se iba para destruirse. Ella se estaba destruyendo. Y me estaba destruyendo a mí. My sister Fanny and my mom, they lived in my mother's house with Nina. They were afraid. They didn't want to go to sleep. You know, they sleep with one eye open because they were afraid of Nina. Geraldina iba down, 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 y yo sentía que yo estaba en las puertas del infierno.
Nina's life was completely out of control. Boys Town had to start all over with her.
My first impression of Nina, walking down the halls, she was a typical girl gangster.
She had a tendency to walk down the center of the halls, not on either side.
I wouldn't let anybody be friends with me. It was like a mask. I was wearing a mask. Nobody could deal with me. Nobody could mess with me. On the outside, I was harder than rock. The very deep inside of me was I needed help. I needed someone. I needed somebody to love me. I need someone to be there for me. There was a little girl in there, and she was very scared.
Boys Town's like a field hospital in a great war. We're the people that take the children that are hurt so badly off the streets, and we literally try to put them back together again.
Just your fingers. Stick one hand in here.
They gave me their trust. They made me feel wanted. And they made me feel that I was somebody and I was special.
The more you're around these kids, like Nina, the stronger the bond is, the stronger the relationship. I can't believe that's the same person that we met 2 years ago.
I want to share my story because I think there's a lot of Ninas out there. And I think there's a lot of girls that need help, like I needed. When I walk across the stage, I think that's just going to be the happiest day of my life. I wish my dad was here so he can see me walk. You know, I think he'd be proud of me, the change that I've made, the person who I'm becoming, the person I am today. I have big plans for myself now.
In a few short days, we have graduation. Our seniors will be walking right along here to receive their diploma. I'll be standing here. I get to shake their hand, give them a big hug. What a glorious day.
That was homecoming.
Think of Nina. She wanted to end her life. Now her life is beginning. That's why it's so important for you to join me right now in becoming a Boys Town family sponsor. Not just for these kids who are about to graduate here, but for all the kids who haven't had an opportunity in America. Join hands with me. You and I, we can make a difference.
You can make that difference by becoming a Boys Town family sponsor with a pledge of only $20 a month. As a sponsor, your gifts will help Boys Town give these kids a home. You'll make it possible to open new Boys Town centers in major cities across America. You'll help expand existing programs where kids learn about things like computers and carpentry so they can become productive members of society when they leave Boys Town. As a family sponsor, your gifts will be used to help a specific Boys Town family of up to 8 kids. And we'll send you progress reports throughout the year. For many of these children, this is the first time in their life they've had a safe, secure home where they can learn how to fulfill the potential God has given them. Please call now.
Thank you for calling Boys Town.
And if you can't make a monthly commitment, your one-time gift of $25, $50, $100, or whatever you can give will help save young lives. By the way, I want to let you know that Boys Town isn't funded or run by any particular religious group or foundation, and our books are always open to the public. Boys Town is the work of the American American people. Your generosity and care help provide the loving homes these kids need. If you want to help children who are homeless, abused, neglected, then go to your phone and give us a call. If you can use your credit card, it will save us on mailing costs. The most important thing is that you call now. Please, go to your phone.
I remember when I went to Boys Town, I addressed the group, and I looked at the faces of the children, and you could see, even at Boys Town, there was a lot of hurt in those faces. These kids who had been through a lot. Thank God for institutions like Boys Town, where they don't give up, where they say we can save these kids.
She ain't heaven. She's my sister.
Boys Town graduation is now a week away, and a lot of feelings are right on the surface. They're sad to say goodbye, eager to face the future. But there's more. For our kids at Boys Town, this graduation is a celebration of a second chance at life.
I never really imagined myself in a cap and gown, and just to be able to put it on, I felt good. I feel like I'm more than ready to graduate. Yeah, I'm like counting down the hours now.
I've always told myself that I was gonna do it. You know, I kept my promise that I would graduate from high school and that I would succeed.
When I walk across the stage tomorrow, I'm gonna be very happy. I'm very emotional. I'm gonna be crying a lot out of happiness that I've made it this far.
When I leave here, I want my family teachers to remember me as a kid who set his sight on a goal and accomplished it.
One of Robert's goals was to speak at his class baccalaureate. When he was chosen for the honor, he spoke from his heart and his experience.
Boys Town has shown me that I am somebody, not because of the gang colors I wore or who I beat up. I came in there and I gave my speech, and I was trying not to choke up there because I was talking and everything. And when I looked out and I seen all my friends and all the people I cared about and they were listening to my words, it was a whole bunch of emotions all at one time.
Boys, 200-meter dash, 1-5.
The next day, Robert competed in his last track meet. A few minutes before his race began, his mother arrived. This is the first time she has ever seen him run.
She always used to call and tell me that she wanted to see me race. I'm just glad that she's here now so she can see me graduate now. There's times when she just breaks down and cries about it. But yeah, I know it's not tears of sadness, but that she's just overwhelmed with happiness. Because I'm her first son and the first one to graduate.
It's time for the Boys Town Awards banquet, and Valerie is one of the finalists for the Wagner Award, a full 4-year college scholarship.
It's so hard to explain the feelings I felt on stage, and my heart was just beating super fast. It was just so exciting. I was so proud of myself. And then when I walked off stage and my dad was in the crowd and he stood up and gave me a huge hug, and I mean, that made my night. It's my dream come true.
Boys Town helped me realize that I wanted to succeed. I didn't want to fail. They care for you, and they show you that no matter what you've done and no matter who you are and no matter what anybody's said about you, they're still gonna love you and they're still gonna care about you. Can I come home for Thanksgiving?
Oh, you bet.
The single most important characteristic of kids when they come here is they're powerless against the forces that are surrounding them in their lives, the dark forces. When you come to Boys Town, you get healed.
Have you started to learn our graduation song?
Oh, yeah, we know it.
That's amazing.
Celine Dion?
Which one, the Passengers?
To say goodbye
to all the friends we knew.
I've done a lot of hard work for this day, so I'm ready.
The graduation ceremony itself is a time for some dignity.
And each of you has that, so I'm going to be asking you.
Walking across the stage,
We will hand you the diploma and shake your hand.
getting that diploma, I've come a long way. Oh my gosh.
Jose doesn't know it, but he's going to have a special guest at graduation.
Hey, buddy.
The policeman who first arrested Jose all those years ago. He never gave up on Jose.
How do you feel?
He finally believed in himself and worked hard to get to where he's at. He's grown up tremendously. I actually see a man in him now, not the little boy that was always looking to get in trouble.
This is what gives you the energy for all the other 51 weeks. You're just like any mom, any dad, any grandma, any grandpa. When you see your kids standing up there and you say, wow, they did it. Wow. Oh, I can't tell you how good that makes you feel. Why? Because you're all energized. And it makes you cry. Tears of joy.
Robert C.
When you see those children, one by one, in their graduation gowns, walking across stage.
Jose.
For every one of those, think of the 10 kids out there who are still in the darkness and who will never graduate unless they come.
Nina.
Like these kids have come. And unless we can embrace them.
Valerie E.
There are many, many tears of joy shed on graduation day. Tears of sadness that I'm leaving, tears of happiness that I am leaving, tears of fear, tears of hope. The psalmist says, those who sow in tears shall reap in gladness. And the tears are like the spring rain that comes here. It makes everything brighten up. It's the hope of a harvest, a bountiful harvest. These were the throwaway kids of American society. They're the kids that everybody gave up on. And if you applaud these kids, let's not throw away all those who are still out there. My dream for America is for every boy and girl who's crying out for help to find a home right here at Boys Town. You know, almost every day, I get a letter like this. To whom it may concern, he starts. My name is Mike, I'm 15 years old, and I am seeking help. The reason I want to go to Boys Town is my mom often beats me with an electrical cord or a shoe. She often says, you're no good. Or why did I have you? You're worthless. I've tried to kill myself. I've tried to run away. So I'm coming to you as my last resort. Please, help me. Sincerely, Mike. This is the reason. I'm asking you, right now, to go to your phone, to pledge $20 a month, or whatever you can afford. Help Mike and all the other kids of America find hope and healing.
It all starts with you and me, reaching out with compassion to a boy or girl. Go to your phone right now and become a Boys Town family sponsor with a pledge of $20 a month. You'll be helping support a specific family at Boys Town with up to 8 kids and a married couple called Family Teachers. Boys Town starts over with these kids by providing the love, support, teaching, structure, and accountability of a family. For many kids, they're the loving parents they never had. Every month, you'll know you've done something miraculous. You've helped give a kid a second chance at life. Please, call now.
When you call and become a Boys Town family sponsor with a pledge of $20 a month, you'll bring hope and love to boys and girls who might otherwise be lost. You'll help provide a safe haven for kids who are being abused and beaten. So many kids are depending on us. They're losing their families, their futures, even their lives. They need you to call. In just a few minutes, we'll be going off the air. But for the sake of the kids who are still waiting for help, we're going to stay right here answering these phones as long as one of them is ringing. You know, Boys Town is already caring for 30,000 kids in 16 centers across America. That's good, but we must do more.
Thank you for calling Boys Town.
When you call and become a Boys Town family sponsor with your commitment of $20 a month, you'll be helping to open new centers and expand existing programs so we can help more kids. You'll receive a photo of your family teachers along with a personal letter telling you more about the kids you're helping. After that, you'll receive regular updates so you'll know exactly how your sponsorship is changing lives. If you can't give $20 a month, call with a one-time gift of $25, $50, $100, or whatever you can give. Every dollar will help rescue America's throwaway children. Don't forget, by using your credit card, you can save Boys Town money on mailing costs. Please, go to your phone. If you can't call right now, write down the number and call later on. We'll be here waiting for you. Let's keep these phones ringing.
As you can see, these lockers are cleaned out. Their bags are packed, our graduates are gone. You know what's really exciting for me? Before you know it, this corner's going to be filled with new kids. Kids from all over America. Kids in desperate need of healing and hope. That's why it's so incredibly important for you to become a Boys Town family sponsor. Join me right now in this important mission.
To see these kids who never went to school or graduate, walk across stage, continue on.
For the first time in their lives, their door has been swung open and they're walking through.
To know that you've helped a kid who otherwise, who knows where they'd be dead or on the streets.
When they see that and they appreciate that, it's a wonderful feeling.
With just seconds left for the sake of a girl or boy who needs your help, step to your phone. If you've already called, thank you. Helping lift someone else's burden is always the lightest kind of load to carry. Years ago, a little boy at Boys Town said it best when he looked up at Father Flanagan and said, "He ain't heavy, Father. He's my brother." God bless you.
With many winding tales that leads us to.
Our phones will stay open after we go off the air. If you reach a busy signal, please keep calling.